Hello! The twin brothers were born with incredible powers and caused people pain, yet they didn't want to do so. As they were merely protecting themselves from persecution, the townspeople became afraid of the boys and decided to burn down their house along with their entire family. The parents have died, but the brothers survived the fire and took different sides of justice. Samaritan became a superhero, the protector of people, while Nemesis, consumed by lust for revenge, made people suffer. The story goes that the twins died 20 years ago in an explosion at a power plant, where Nemesis lured his brother, armed with his own hand-forged hammer that he poured all his hatred into. But some believe that the Samaritan has survived. It's time to find out if that's true. The boy Sam is a fan of Samaritan. He lives with his mother in a rented apartment. Their neighbor is a quiet old man named Joe Smith, a garbage man, who in his spare time collects broken electronic devices at the landfill and fixes them. One day on his way back from school, Sam finds the door of his apartment closed by the landlord for not paying rent on time. The kid is hanging out outside, drawing the battle of Samaritan and Nemesis in his notebook, when Joe walks by with yet another find in his hand that could use some fixing, as could Sam's broken watch. Just then, a friend of the boys, Jace, shows up and offers his friend to make some extra money. The buddies collect copper wire and exchange it for money from the subordinates of the bandit Cyrus. There, Sam also agrees to a criminal part-time job offered by the gang to distract a store clerk so that the bandits can rob him. The boy smears sauce on himself to imitate blood and bursts into the store, asking for help, while his accomplices are pulling boxes out of the back room. Instead of money, however, they only steal chips. The embarrassed Riza blames Sam, but is caught in the act by Cyrus himself. The thug boss finds Sam's notebook with Samaritan's drawings and tells him his point of view. The guy worships Nemesis. Cyrus sees the kid's potential and gives him $300, $100 for what he's already done, and another $200 for his future favors. On his return home, Sam gives the money to his mother to pay the rent, without telling the truth as to how he got it. The next day, Sam is spotted by Riza and his gang, who chase him, seeking revenge for his screw-up the day before. Running away from the bandits, the boy almost gets run over by a bus driven by Old Man Joe, who immediately senses that something is wrong. And when Sam, cornered, is getting beaten from all sides, Joe all of a sudden interferes in the fight and disperses the attackers. Most of the damage is inflicted on the insolent liar who dares to attack from behind with a knife. Joe bends him like a straw in front of Sam's eyes. Upon seeing the sight, Sam realizes that this is none other than Samaritan. He hurries home to follow the old man out the window and sees through binoculars the horrible burn scars on his back, confirming his hunch. After all, Samaritan and Nemesis are believed to have died in the power plant fire. Cyrus goes on a heist with his girlfriend Syl and her accomplices. After obtaining a police car and a uniform to disguise themselves and eliminate the guard on duty with a grenade, the bandits infiltrate a police station warehouse. There, Cyrus finds the legendary hammer of Nemesis, which he plans to use to finish the job the villain started. Sam keeps following his neighbor, and once he leaves home, the boy sneaks into his apartment and finds a scrapbook of newspaper clippings about Samaritan in the closet. The embittered Riza also keeps an eye on John, looking to exact revenge on the old man for humiliating him. Upon returning home, the old man sees a trash can slid under his window and finds newspaper clippings dropped from an album on the apartment floor, and realizes that Sam had snuck into his apartment. John shows up at his place and demands that he return what he stole, and the kid complies and hints that he's uncovered the old man's secret.
I'm a fan?
Later on the street, Sam apologizes for what he did. The boy tells his neighbor that he believes he is a superhero. The old man denies everything, of course, and explains that he has been collecting the newspaper clippings because he's just as much of a fan as the boy himself. John hurries and leaves, but the relentless Sam keeps yelling after him, which distracts the old man's attention, and he gets hit by a car at breakneck speed. It was the vengeful Riza seizing his moment. For an ordinary man, such a blow would be fatal, and Sam is frightened out of his wits. But before his eyes, the old man's broken bones begin to heal, and he regains consciousness and rises to his feet. Watching this, the boy is thrilled, for he was right after all. Samaritan is in front of him, alive. Upon reaching his apartment, John takes a cold shower, then happily eats ice cream out of the can, explaining that when he is wounded, his body overheats and his heart might explode. Yet despite all of this, the old man continues to deny that he is who the kid thinks he is. Meanwhile, Cyrus and his gang go out into the city. He raises a fuss and attracts the attention of the crowd, to whom he triumphantly announces the return of Nemesis and calls on the people to bring about a revolution. John has a dream about his last battle. He sees the fight between the two brothers and screams himself out of the nightmare. The old man leaves the house, and Sam follows him on his trail. The spying is quickly discovered by John, but out of the goodness of his heart, he lets the boy come along. Sam spends the day with John, asking him non-stop about his past and superpowers, and by nightfall, the pair return home. Before parting, the boy tells John about himself, or rather about his fear. When he's attacked in the street, he cannot fight back, running away or freezing in place instead, to which John, already sympathetic to the boy, supports him.
Why would you want to get into a fight with some stranger who has nothing to do with your life?
And to cheer the boy up, he takes his watch to get it fixed. The next morning, John is eating breakfast in front of the television, listening to the news. The anchor announces that rioters have been ravaging the city for the past week, and civilians are blaming this on the man who calls himself Nemesis. This message causes the man to have a fit of silent rage.
Nemesis back.
After leaving his house, the old man runs into Sam again. This time, the boy asks John to teach him how to fight. The neighbor reluctantly agrees and offers to meet him on the roof later. There, the boy demonstrates his fighting skills. However, Sam's courage and fighting spirit disappears as soon as John asks him to really hit him on the hand. Yet the old man supports the boy, exclaiming that it's not cowardice, but good upbringing. With high spirits, Sam decides to punch the old man in the chest and immediately screams in pain. The superhero's body is as tough as iron. Back at home, John prepares an ice bath for the hand, while the boy keeps pestering him with questions, and on top of that says,
Good thing Nemesis is gone.
to which John, immersed in his memories, answers that people do not know what really happened between the brothers that night, and angry with endless questions, kicks the kid out. Instead of going home, Sam wanders aimlessly through town and is found by Cyrus. The bandit reminds the boy that he still has money to work off and takes him back to his base. Cyrus gives him an assignment to keep watch and, if the cops show up, to blow the whistle. While doing the task, Sam sees 2 cars with bandits entering the junkyard and decides to follow them. A cop, who is in cahoots with the gangsters, is taken out of the trunk of the car. The gang with Cyrus in the lead gathers around him. The poor guy didn't help him with business, and now he's in danger of being punished. The leader of the gang gives the unfortunate man hope of survival, and then pitilessly shoots him in the back. After seeing this, Sam tries to get out of the junkyard, but runs into Reese's gang, who are beating up his buddy Jace. This time, to save his friend, he fearlessly gets into a fight, but the forces are unequal. Reese's buddies grab him by the arms, and the bandits bring a heavy wrench over Sam's head. Later, the gang brings him unconscious to John Smith's house. Seeing that the old man is still alive after the car accident, Reza reports it to his boss, and Cyrus, who suspects him of being Samaritan, sets out to meet him. John is quietly wandering the streets of the city when Cyrus's goons come on his tail, which does not go unnoticed. The man leads them to a dead end, where he easily takes them all out one by one, withstanding even point-blank shots. He tosses the last outlaw through the wall, destroying it. This scene is observed by a girl who clings to John with questions about superpowers, and a crowd of onlookers gather around to videotape the scene. John dodges the question and explains to the girl that she was imagining things. However, one of the bandits throws a grenade at him, and the old man has to perform a heroic deed in front of everybody. He grabs the girl, jumps over the car, and flips it over with just one hand, turning it into a shield to protect them from the blast wave. The same evening, while John is packing his things, intending to flee town, the news bulletin already shows a video and an interview of the girl who claims to have been saved by Samaritan. As John watches the broadcast, Sam knocks on his door. The boys come to ask for help. He tells him that Cyrus is planning to do something at the power plant, and Samaritan is the only one who can help.
Call the cops because I want no part of it.
But you're the only one that can help.
Nonetheless, John Smith refuses to save the people, and Sam, disappointed with his hero, runs away. At the same time, Cyrus with his gang watches the news report on the hero, enraged by the broadcast. The bandit grabs the Nemesis hammer and crushes the TV. He intends to get rid of the hero who had decided to come back to town. Without delay, the whole gang of Cyrus comes to the old man's house. Luckily, Sam spots them from the window and rushes to his mother, urging her to leave immediately. The bandits, meanwhile, are smashing the old man's empty apartment to pieces, and Cyrus, having noticed Sam in the opposite window, orders his accomplices to catch the boy. Sam and his mother make it to the roof, but their escape route down the fire ladder is blocked by Syl, and a second later the rest of the gang shows up. Cyrus intends to only snatch the boy, leaving his mother alone. Sam tells the gang leader that Samaritan will come and rescue him, but it turns out that's exactly what Cyrus is counting on, and the boy is just bait.
Yeah, that's why I gotta take you. So Nemesis can finally kill Samaritan.
John Smith, meanwhile, is at the train station getting ready to leave for Albuquerque, but finds Sam's fixed watch in the pocket of his jacket, which he never returned. The old man returns home and goes to see his friend, only to find the apartment trashed. Tiffany tells him that her son has been kidnapped by Cyrus, and just as the thugs expected, John sets out to carry out his revenge. The man bursts into the junkyard grounds, and after ramming through the gate of the main building, gets inside, going up against a crowd of bandits unarmed. The bulletproof old man easily takes them apart one by one. The gunfight is halted by the arrival of Cyrus, who boldly descends on his opponent with the Nemesis hammer in his hands, while Syl holds Sam with a knife to his throat, grinning wickedly at the old man. Cyrus begins beating him with the hammer, grinning like a wild beast. Knocked over 3 times from the hammer's blows, John can't resist the rage brewing inside of him, the flame of which is fueled by the memory of the very night he failed to save his brother. The old man stops Cyrus's next blow with one hand. And suddenly, it turns out that
I'm the bad guy.
Nemesis.
at that moment, the bomb that Nemesis had planted in advance explodes, and the bandits are blown apart by the blast wave, and the murderous hammer ends up in the hands of its true owner. The cowardly Cyrus orders his associates to attack Nemesis and rushes off, taking Sam with him. He handcuffs the boy, and preparing for the final battle, puts on a mask of Nemesis, who in the meantime is making his way to his target, leaving no survivors behind. After going through a very heavy battle, a tortured and exhausted Nemesis finds Sam, dropping his hammer from exhaustion. He goes to the kid to free him, when the sneaky Cyrus attacks him from behind with his own weapon. In the midst of the battle, the burning floor collapses beneath their feet, and Cyrus manages to drop Nemesis to the edge of the fiery abyss. Having realized the hopelessness of the situation, Sam lashes out in fury, and with a heavy effort, tears off the steel pipe to which he is chained. He hits Cyrus from behind, and buys John a moment to gather his strength. Taking the opportunity, the old man wraps his hammer around his foe and throws him into the abyss. After getting out of this mess alive, Sam asks the old man again if it's true that he is Nemesis, to which he receives an affirmative answer. The confused boy tries to convince him that the villain can change, to which John replies that if only bad people did bad things, it would be easy to get rid of evil. The real truth is that both good and bad lives in everyone's heart. You just have to make the right choice. As always, you can find the name of the movie in the description of the video. In the meantime, let us know in the comments. Did you also suspect John Smith could be Nemesis? Or was this turn of events unexpected? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next awesome retelling. Watch an interesting movie in a few minutes without rewind? Easy!
We got a great looking audience tonight.
The Sweet Popcorn channel has a mega convenient format waiting just for you. Short retellings of movies, from auteur films to Hollywood blockbusters. Pick up your unlimited ticket by clicking the subscribe button.